Hey everyone, and welcome to the VitaCast episode 14. I'm your host, Tyler Olthoff, and we're recording on January 28th, 2014. Alongside me, I have Kyle Wakeling.
As always.
Brian Sharon.
Salutations.
And Yuki in the chat, just saying stuff that he shouldn't, so.
Wah, wah.
Let's head on over to some of the games that I've been playing this week. It's actually been a busy week I've been playing a lot of games, I think, but of course I'm going to forget like half of them, so it's going to seem like I didn't play as much as I am talking about. I did the lounge play on Saturday, so I played Sonic All-Stars Racing. That was a lot of fun. I also played Hot Shots Golf, which I owned. Kyle wasn't there, so he didn't get to experience that. Although he would have lost, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, bullshit.
I also played Little Big Planet. That was fun. I think we had to quit early, though, because there's a problem. I don't know what was going on. Probably not helping the fact that I was playing with people across the world, so connection probably wasn't the best. But that was still fun, regardless, when it was working. You can go check those videos out if you want, if you're bored and you just want to watch some goofy guys play some games on the lounge play. Also, I played some Ys Memories of Celceta. I've been playing a lot of that lately, trying to get further and whatnot. Probably put in like 6 hours now, 6 or 7, I think. I don't know how far I am. What else did I play? I played more of the demo for Dragon Ball Z because the game is coming soon. Brian will let you know when. And I actually got someone to probably buy a Vita just because of that game, because I showed him the demo, and he's like, "You've got to be kidding me, there's a Dragon Ball Z game coming to the Vita," and now he's all wanting it. So, yeah. What else did I play? I played more of the Tokuden demo. Also played some Terraria. I didn't play too much Terraria, but I played a little bit of it. And I think that's all I played. I probably played something else that I can't think of. So, yeah. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, so I started off my week playing a bunch of Thomas Was Alone. I love that game. I love the narration. I love Mike Bethel. I moved on from there and I started to play a lot of Rimmed Capsule on PlayStation Mobile. If you guys haven't played that game, you should. It's a great tower defense game with a little bit of a Tetris kind of base building. So I've dug a few hours into that. And then I also played Mononoke Slashdown, which you can check out the review on our site for. I thought it was a pretty good game. It's a little bit repetitive, but given the platform of PlayStation Mobile, there's not many other action games that of that caliber. Other than that, I've been playing a ton of Persona 4 Golden. I jumped in after a long break to go through, and I thought I was about halfway through the game, but it turns out I might not be that close, or I thought I was near the end, and it turns out I'm around halfway. So not as close to the end as I like, but in a way, I'm happy that I'm not, because it's a great game, and I almost don't want it to end at all. So other than that, let me see here. I did get a chance, like the rest of you guys, to dive into the Toukiden demo. I really liked it. I beat it basically one sitting. I really like the bow. Unfortunately, I think in like most hunting games, it's a little bit clunky, but we'll see when the first full game comes out. I was really surprised by the quality. How about yourself, Kyle?
Well, I haven't been playing too much this week. Kind of been catching up on other stuff and trying to, quell my other backlogs. I played a hell of a lot of Ollie Ollie, though. That was pretty much my main game for this week. Though I did play quite a bit of remote play Assassin's Creed 4, so hopefully that redeems me a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a wee bit.
So serious, Tyler.
This is a serious kind of day.
Oh. Well.
Is that all you played?
Pretty much.
Very nice. I need to play more Assassin's Creed, but I'm lazy, and I've been watching Netflix and playing Ys.
But Kyle, you jumped into that Toukiden demo, didn't you?
A little bit. I didn't play very much, though.
What'd you think about it from your limited time?
I thought it was okay. definitely looking to see what the bosses are like. I only played probably 40 minutes of it, and I only got through like a couple of the smaller challenges and screwed around with the different like customizables and stuff like that. Didn't really dig in too far. So.
Well, without spoiling too much of the demo for you, there's no real boss fight in there, and when you do get to a big boss fight, lights out. That's the only thing I had a problem with the demo, is it kind of teases you with the ending. But that's what the demo's there for, right? To sell copies.
Exactly. I like the cutscenes.
Yes,
I think those are
beautiful.
pretty cool. But, all right, well, let's head on over to the new releases. Brian, what do you got for this week?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. We're just going to do the North American releases. So this week we have from Bandai Namco, which, if you're wondering why is he saying those backwards, they had a name change earlier this week, and they'll now be referred to as Bandai Namco rather than Namco Bandai. We have Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Z, available on PlayStation Vita in North America, I believe today. And then as well, the PS1 classic import, The Firemen 2, Pete and Danny. I had recommended this game, oddly enough, to Tyler when they first announced these imports coming in. I was a big fan of the Super Nintendo game, Firemen, and it's surprisingly good. I haven't played Firemen 2, the import, but if it's anything like the Super Nintendo original, it should be really good. So I would check that out.
Very nice. I'm excited for Dragon Ball Z.
As am I.
So that's all the new releases for us?
That's it. We unfortunately haven't got much news regarding Europe, so we're just going to hold off on that.
All right. Well, let's Goku the news.
I see what you're super saying.
Bringing it back, as I'm sure everyone loves our puns. All right, so for the news, there's quite a few news stories, so let's just start it off with the very first one, which is Zen Studios announces Super League Football for Zen Pinball 2. So it looks like a soccer or football take on pinball, and I'm not really the biggest fan of pinball, but I really don't know how this is going to work, except having like a soccer backdrop, a crowd, the pinball looking like a soccer ball.
Well, like most Zen's pinball tables, they're not really traditional tables. They have all these dynamic attributes and cutscenes and 3D
Right.
animated sequences. So I've seen that you can do like free kicks scenarios, which you can see on the top level of some of the tables. But I think the more interesting thing here is if you're a fan of any one of those clubs, whether it be AC Milan or AS Roma, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc., like the tables are all completely tailored to you as a fan, because I think they sing the songs of the team, they play the sounds, all the colors are reflected there. But not only that, you're representing your team internationally on the scoreboard as well. So when you pick one of those teams, you'll be competing against all the other teams in the international global scoreboard. So there's that too. There's a little bit of a competitive league-like situation there.
That's pretty interesting, actually. It's a good idea.
But if you're not a big football fan like yourself, I think you can actually join the Zen Studios team, and you can help them represent against all these massive football clubs.
Yeah, I see their little logo or whatever.
Yeah.
Their shield. All right. Well, yeah, they don't have the MLS, but no one cares about the MLS. So maybe if they add MLS teams, then I might give it a shot. But then again, I'm not really the biggest pinball fan, so I probably won't. Kyle, do you like pinball?
I do, but I don't play so much on the Vita or any game console, really. I like traditional pinball.
You like the real thing?
Yeah.
You like to feel that quarter leave your fingertips?
Exactly.
The screen light up, and you pull that thing back, and pa-ting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you haven't noticed, we have a case of the giggles today, so just bear with us a little bit.
The gigs.
The giggles.
Alrighty. Well, the next bit of news, I feel like I'm going to pronounce this name wrong because I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. It's either Blaze Blue or Blah Blue or whatever the hell people like to call it. Anyways, that game, Chrono Phantasm, is finding its way to a Vita near you? Question mark. according to Dengeki PlayStation Magazine, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasm is being ported to the PlayStation Vita. So, set after the events of BlazBlue Quantum Shift, the third game of the series was released on the PlayStation 3 in Japan on October 24th, 2013, with a Western release date in March of this year. According to the magazine article, Arc System Works are bringing the game to the PlayStation Vita in Japan, but no release window or a Western release has been confirmed. What has been announced is that any DLC will be shared with the PS3 version, and the game will receive arcade version updates also. In addition to this, beach events are also due to be added. So yeah, BlazBlue. I'm not into fighting games, so this is something that I'm not really looking out for, but I know the fighting community is a big community, so there's tons of people that are really going to be excited about this. Are any of you guys fighter fans? Definitely, I can tell. Just you guys are just
No, I think I've mentioned it before. That I used to be a big fan of the Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter 2s back when they were in the arcade, but I've since died off as the scene got a little bit more hardcore. But I definitely appreciate that people take it to that extreme. I'm just not one of those people. But I thought, like as per usual, the more genre games that we get, the better on the Vita. So I'm sure it'll fill a niche for somebody.
Gotcha. And Kyle is just asleep again.
What?
Oh,
Sorry.
hey, Kyle.
No, I as with Brian, I'm not that big of a fighter fan. I kind of follow a little bit here and there, and I play some Mortal Kombat and Dive Kick just because it's unique. But other than that, I don't really play a lot of them.
Yeah. The only fighter games I really play are like Super Smash Bros. Style, so like PlayStation All-Stars, and I do like Dive Kick. That's for sure. So
Those are kind of like brawlers, though.
yeah, those are not really fighters, but yeah. Anywho, next bit of news: Fate Hollow Ataraxia. I'm gonna assume
my cousin had that once.
Really. Anyways, it's being ported to the Vita, so. This entry in the series takes place after Fate Stay Night, which was re-released on the Vita towards the end of 2012, following Bazette and Avenger on their journey to emerge victorious in the Fifth Holy Grail War. The Vita version will include full voice acting. At the minute, this has only been rumored for a Japanese release, with no news on any Western translation, and I feel like I have to burp, which is why I might have been talking weird, but now I don't. I'm good. The game, developed by Type Moon and originally released on the PC back in 2005, has no confirmed release date as of yet. For further news regarding this, be sure to check the Vita Lounge for updates. Yeah! I don't know anything about this game, so kind of in the dark of what this game's actually all about. Do any of you guys know what it is?
I know everything you just told me.
Same.
Maybe you can. It's an
Thanks for
interactive
informing
book.
us.
You're welcome. Anytime. An interactive book, so you read. Interesting. You can type
You mean a
it.
visual novel?
I would assume so.
Yeah,
seems
it
to be
sounds
like-
like a visual novel.
Alright. It's
Yeah.
a VN. Nice.
As the kids are calling it.
Next bit of news regarding Hotline Miami 2, wrong number. There was a tweet by the Hotline Miami Twitter handle, and they said Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, will launch in Q3 2014. So, that's good, because I like Hotline Miami. But Q3 is quite a ways away. It's... What month would that start in?
Summer, early fall.
Summer, early fall. That's a while away.
Like 5 months or more. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a while to wait, but at least they're letting you have an idea of when it could come. But knowing the video game space, it's bound to get delayed or something to happen. So it could be changed at any time. But we will let you know more details as they come up. Next bit of news, we got Surge Deluxe passes final quality assurance. Future Lab, the developers behind the game, tweeted out that Surge Deluxe has now passed FQA and SCEA, and SCEE, or Sony Computer Entertainment America, Sony Computer Entertainment Europe, and they said hold tight for a release date. With any luck, it'll be soon. So that's pretty awesome. If you've been looking out for this game, seeing that it's past QA is always a good sign, because that means the game should be coming soon, as they tweeted. Next bit, I gotta click and open it. I'm falling behind. I'm going faster than I can open the news stories. Alright, there we go. I'm set. I'm ready to go. Project Diva F gets Western release window. According to a post on the Sega blog, the PlayStation Vita version of Hatsune Miku Project Diva F is set to hit the West this March, the PlayStation 3 version releasing last year. Here's a quote with the important bits. We'll be bringing Hatsune Miku Project Diva F for the PlayStation 3 to AOD, and while we're at it, we have some exciting news for all you PlayStation Vita owners. We're happy to announce that the fully localized version of Hatsune Miku Project Diva F will release on PSN this March. So, that's saying, is this only going to be downloadable?
Yes. Digital only.
Interesting. And the PS3 version was both, right? PSN and disc-based?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Do you guys have any opinions on that? Maybe not the game. I don't know if you guys are interested in the game, but the fact that a lot of games are seeming to do download only, but in other territories or platforms, they bring it to physical.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it on one of the posts on the site. I'm not sure which one, but I mentioned how Sony should institute a program where, say, if something gets released on PSN like this and it does hits a certain amount of downloads or buys or whatever, they should have a program where then it gets transferred to a game card and sold in stores.
Yeah.
I think that would kind of fill that market, because a lot of the games that come out on PSN, people either won't buy or whatever because they buy from a store or something like that, and they miss out on the experience, and then those people will get, the fact that the game is good kind of by the fact that it hit the store because it had to hit that many downloads in the first place, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think it limits sales sometimes, but it makes sense for some games because it might not be the most popular game, and they figure that if they just do download only, they can save some money without having to do the production cost of getting it into a box and shipped and all that pricing mumbo jumbo. But it is frustrating because we all know, as being Vita owners, that the memory cards are not the cheapest things, and here they are filling our memory cards up easy. So it can be a little frustrating. It's just like the same thing with Final Fantasy X HD, where you can get the physical version, but the X-2 or whatever it is download only for the Vita, and it's isn't it like 4 gigs or something?
Yeah, 3 point something. I think the upper limit's 3.8 on the card.
Yeah, so it's big, and that's the only way you're going to be able to play the game, so you're going to have a big enough memory card to handle it. So yeah, it's a little frustrating, but it makes sense sometimes. But hopefully in the future we can see less of that. Next up, we've got 0011 adapting PS3 title for the Vita, and it's hinting at being pixel junk shooter. So 0011 founder Lee Hutchinson revealed today that the studio is working, or not today, but when this post was posted, working on remastering a currently unknown PlayStation 3 title for the PlayStation Vita. And where does it say? We updated the story, and the potential affirmation came in response to concept artist Gibbs Rainknock. I think I don't know if that's how you say his name, but who knows? Who guessed hopefully on Twitter that the game could be pixel junk shooter, to which 0011 directly replied, "Someone has guessed correctly too." Dun dun dun. Yeah. Are you guys into the pixel junk series?
Yeah, it's one of those series I've always liked from afar, but I've never jumped into. I just picked up what was it on the Pixel Junk series that was on the 14 for 14 sale?
Pixel Junk Monsters?
Yes, that's what it. So I've just picked that up, but I haven't had a chance to jump into it yet. But I've heard absolutely great things. I just haven't had a chance to jump in.
Yeah, I've never played Pixel Junk shooters. I don't even know what it is. Like, I really need to look a video up and see if it's something I would be into, because I hear a lot of praise for the Pixel Junk series, so it's definitely something I need to look out for. Kyle, are you into it at all?
Not so much.
Not so much. There's Picky Kyle. Show his ugly face.
I generally don't play games that I think I'm not going to finish, so that's why.
So you're smart. You save your money when you know you wouldn't want to use it.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I see something shiny and I buy it.
It makes it rain.
That's right.
How many Vitas you got now? Like 15?
Yeah, just about. You saw my post on the forum, right? About the 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, I'm lame. The sad thing is I probably would buy it. I'll see it in the store, and I'll just be like, there it is. I have a couple $100 in my bank account, and it's mine!
So because this is a podcast, you obviously can't see Tyler right now, but if you've ever seen Game of Thrones and they have that throne, he's sitting on a throne of Vitas right now, multicolored.
Well, I've never seen Game of Thrones, actually, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Boo.
Ooh.
All I hear is there's lots of weenies in there.
And you haven't watched it because?
Well, that, and I don't have cable, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That will do it. I just use Netflix and Hulu, so maybe if they add it there one day, which they probably will, Netflix or Hulu will snatch that up as soon as they can. Anyways. Back to Vita games. Demon Gaze crawls on to PlayStation Vita in April. NIS America has announced that it will be heading to the PlayStation Vita on April 22nd in North America and April 25th in Europe. In late 2013, the publisher announced that they had licensed the dungeon crawling RPG for Western shores. However, this is the first we've heard of a date. Not only will the game be provided with dual voiceovers, but it will be available in both retail and digital formats. Woo! And additionally, a batch of brand new localized screenshots were revealed. So if you want to go check out some of the screenshots, feel free to hit up the site and search Demon Gaze, and I'm sure it would be one of the first stories up there in the news. I've been looking at this game, and I really don't like how it does the first-person view in the dungeon.
It's very retro, right? Like, if anybody's familiar with those original dungeon crawlers, that's how they were.
Right.
I think it's trying to emulate that, and yeah, it's definitely not something that's held up over the test of time.
Yeah, I don't like that style, but if that's something you're into, then it's good news for you. I'm not even going to ask Kyle if he's interested in that. Llamasoft's TXK to launch in February. If you may have missed the news since it was sneakily posted as part of the North American PlayStation Vita Play promotion, but with not much fanfare, Llamasoft has revealed that their highly anticipated Tempest Vita title TXK will launch on February 11th for $9.99 and will have a further 20% off of the PlayStation Plus. It will have a further 20% off for PlayStation Plus members for the first week. So yeah, if you've been wanting this game, there you go. And like I said earlier, it's part of the North American PlayStation Vita Play promotion. So if you're buying, if you bought Ollie Ollie last week, if you're buying Dragon Ball Z today, and I can't remember what the other one is.
Dust Force.
Yeah, Dust Force. If you're buying that, you're going to get some money back. So yeah, it's a good deal. Getting money back.
Money.
Yeah, I need more money.
Money.
You can buy another Vita.
Yeah. Well, not unless if it's PSN money, I can't really transfer that into a Vita. That'd be awesome, though.
Yeah, I know, but it would save you money on stuff you're going to buy, and then you put that money towards a Vita. Oh.
Oh, but do I really need a third Vita? Like, I really don't. I don't even need two. I just use my capture Vita as my personal, like, my main Vita, but I don't. I use it just for capturing stuff.
Tally.
Yeah. Seriously, Kat, you're gonna push stuff off my desk?
It's like, pay attention to me, damn it.
Anyways, next bit of news. Yakuza Ishin Vita companion app launching early. The PlayStation Vita companion app for Yakuza Ishin will launch on February 13th, 2014, a week ahead of the game's release. The application will be available directly from the PlayStation Store in Japan and offers Vita owners unique interaction with the console release. Included in the companion app included three. That's just weirdly written. It feels like, unless I'm reading it wrong. Included in the companion app are 3 game modes: Another Life, Battle, Dungeon, and Gambling Den mini games. All 3 modes are immediately available via save data transfer from either the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 versions of Ishin. By utilizing the app, players are able to earn items, money, virtue, experience points, soul spheres, and soldier cards, all of which can be shared with the console versions via cross-save. Yeah! I don't know... Wait, this isn't coming to the US, is it, at all?
Not that I've heard of.
I don't even know what Yakuza is. I just know it's really popular and everyone wants a Yakuza game on the Vita. Am I right?
So, I'm a huge fan of Yakuza, personally.
Take it away, Brian.
So, if you haven't played Yakuza and you have played Shenmue, go play Yakuza. It's not exactly Shenmue, it doesn't really have that sense of wonder there, but it's the closest thing you'll get from Sega right now, since we're waiting on Shenmue 3. But this companion app, personally, if you own the console edition, yeah, it seems interesting, but for me, personally, even if it was coming out in the West and it was solely the app itself, I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah. Well, look out for that if you're in Japan. Next bit of news, we got Battlegrounds pushed back 2 weeks in Japan. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds is a game spin-off of 2011's Phantom Breaker, a 2D fighting game developed and published by 5BP. This new version is a side-scrolling beat-em-up in which players play as deformed versions of the original characters who fight large groups of ninjas. Originally
It doesn't sound like you're reading that at all.
I am not reading anything, Kyle, so don't blow my cover. Well, let me just read this off the top of my head because I have it stored in my brain. Originally set to release on February 13th, the Vita version of this beat-em-up side-scroller is now set to release to Japanese consumers on February 27th. Though a Western release is planned and the game is already localized due to hit Xbox 360 in the past, there's no set date for release outside Japan, so no need to worry if that's pushed back. Yeah, interesting. I've actually never even heard of this game until now. Have you guys played it? Thought about it? Nope. Alright. We'll go to the next bit of news. Rebellion Run, a free-to-play Japanese action game. Rebellion Run Dash or Capture is a new Japanese free-to-play title coming to PlayStation Vita February 27th. A teaser site for Rebellion Run recently opened. The official site launch set for the 30th. Along with the launch of the site will be the opportunity for pre-registration, allowing you to set up your profile before the February launch date of the game. Rebellion Run will feature a microtransaction model to complement its free-to-play nature and will allow multiplayer with up to 3 friends over ad hoc or infrastructure connections. The objective of the game is to compete for treasure in either real-world locations such as Akihabara or fictional locations, crafting your own path as you progress in a sport seemingly named Dash. Dash is based on a King of the Hill style mechanic of the runner holding a briefcase which signifies their it, and everyone else trying to chase them down with weapons and acquire it. The objective of the game is to get away without being caught and taken out, thus winning the contents of the case. At the end of each match, players are awarded experience and upgrades based on performance. So yeah, this game sounds like, what is that game that came out on PS3? Oh gosh.
The Last of Us.
Yes, thank you, Brian. No, get out of here. I can't remember what it is. It's a game where it sounds very similar, but you play as like a bank robber. And nope. It's a cartoony style, like top-down multiplayer game where you run and grab money bags and you have to bring it back to your like getaway vehicle. And you can shoot other bad guys trying to get the money, and whoever ends up with the most money at the end of the match wins. I can't remember what it's called though, but it's on there. It's on the PS3. I played it twice and it was all right. So yeah, this is a free-to-play game coming to the Vita February 27th in Japan. Check it out. And once again, I'm behind again. I forgot to open more stories, so you're going to have to sit here for a second as I open up 7 news stories because these are all related to each other. There we go. Alright, I got a whole bunch of Freedom Wars news for you. Starting with Freedom Wars to release this summer. The upcoming Vita action game Freedom Wars is set to release this summer in Japan and other Asian regions, as was announced at the Taipei, is that how you say it? Taipei, I was close. Game Show's emergency. Let's have a developers conference event. It was also made public that a trial demo version of the game is in the works and will be made available soon, downloadable for a limited time. An official website for the game containing more information will launch somewhere next month. Yeah. Next bit. Localized Freedom Wars footage from, I already forgot how to say the name, Taipei. Hey, it's only the second time I've forgot how to pronounce it.
Let's get it's like the first part of your name and then pay. I don't know.
So, Tyler, bonus points if you can what country this is.
You went into robot voice.
Bonus point if you can tell me which country this is taking place in, my friend.
Alright, so first word is Thai. Next word is pay. I think I'm going to go with Thailand.
Let's move on.
Where does it take place then, Brian?
Close to China. That's the closest hint I'm going to give it to you.
Japan?
Technically, some people would consider this place China, but that's a political statement.
I'm not going to guess.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Back to the news. Localized Freedom Wars footage from Taipei. A very strange video has appeared on YouTube showing what appears to be a localized version of Freedom Wars playable at the Taipei game show. User Bahamut Game Crazy has posted a YouTube video showing an English subtitled version of Freedom Wars. And yeah, while the audio still isn't in English, all in-game text seems to have been localized, which as anyone in the know can tell you, it's half the battle of getting it localized to the West. So that's always good news to see a video showing a game that you want a lot. Like myself, I really want this game having English subtitles. And this is a game I think Kyle actually wants, right?
Yes.
Oh my god!
It's the earphones. That's what does it for Kyle.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's all? Are they
No.
Oh.
It's the action, Brad.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I'm excited for it, and seeing that English text is very exciting, because that means even if it doesn't come to the West, which I highly doubt it's not coming to the West, but if it doesn't, there's a version that you could possibly get that would have English subtitles. So, yeah. Next up, more Freedom Wars news. Freedom Wars set for simultaneous release in Japan and Asia. CE Worldwide Studios producer Junichi Yoshizawa announced that don't laugh at me. That the upcoming Freedom Wars will see a simultaneous release both in Japan and Asia territories in 2014. News of the concurrent rollout came via an open Q&A session with the media following the producer's keynote speech at the Taipei Game Show today, according to Siliconera. I just had to burp there, but it didn't come out. Anywho. Yoshizawa made note that the game would not only see a simultaneous release in Japan and Asia, but would also be localized in both Japanese and traditional Chinese, respectively. Currently, the studio is focusing on their efforts for release in these regions, and Yoshizawa promised further information regarding Western territories in the future. Additionally, some background was given at the earlier keynote regarding Freedom Wars' thematic setup, taking place in the year... That's a big year. 102013. I don't even know. It's
10/20/13. I think they just went, yeah, what year is it? Alright, so just add a 10 to that. Alright, cool.
Yeah, pretty much. You read it much easier than I did. 10/2013. Yeah. Nations are replaced by prison cities by the name of Panopticons, which I think should have been the name, just my personal opinion. Because I think Panopticon sounds awesome. That was its code name, if anyone was wondering, back before it got announced that it was called Freedom Wars. When starting a new game, players will be able to fight for their respective territory in a overarching metagame. Freedom Wars is slated for release sometime in 2014. Sweet. Also, speaking of localization into Chinese, the Legend of Heroes game, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Flash, and the sequel will be localized in Chinese, so that's good news if you're in China or you speak Chinese and that's what you want, and you love the Legend of Heroes game. There you go, getting some support. Yeah!
And I believe that's traditional Chinese, Tyler, because there is other types of language coming from China.
Well, I'm not Chinese, so... yeah. Traditional. I should probably move on to the next bit, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Alright, next bit of news. Mysterious Sony headset coming to PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. Both Best Buy and PlayAsia have recently posted listings for a previously unannounced gold wireless headset. This headset has been designed with the PlayStation 4 in mind, but is also compatible with the PlayStation Vita. I just had to yawn right there. It is too.
Are we boring you, Tyler?
Yes, you are, Kyle. Just you. The headset looks to have been designed in a similar style to the PlayStation 3 wireless stereo headset with a distinct black and blue PS4 theme to this revised edition, and is described as the gold wireless stereo headset delivers amazing depth and audio clarity, elevating your gaming experience with customizable game modes created by developers exclusively for PlayStation. This is how games were made to sound. As with the Pulse headset and the wireless stereo headset before it, this new edition has a noise-canceling microphone and supports 7.1 virtual surround sound. The headset is listed to include a 3.5mm audio cable to enable use with the PlayStation Vita. PlayAsia have the headset priced at $129.99 US, which is similar to that of previous iterations, although the January release date does look to be just a placeholder until an official release is announced. So yeah, I've already got a headset that is, I think, the wireless Pulse headset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I like it, so I don't think I have any interest in upgrading, but this headset does look pretty interesting. I don't know if I like the ear shape, though. The ear muffs or whatever they are. It looks kind of weird.
If you're picking up Freedom Wars and you want to do some cosplay.
True. You were Robot Brian in there, but I did hear what you said, so. Yeah. Next bit. If you need a headset, there you go. Something new to grab for your Vita or your PS4. Son of a butt. Hold on a second. Damn it. Kyle.
What?
One of your links isn't working, so I have to go find the story.
Boo. My bad.
It's all good in the hood. I already know what the story is. That's the fact that PlayStation Now is not launching in Canada, so how does that make you guys feel?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? Is it a sad day in Canada right now?
Maybe for Brian, but not so much for me.
Brian, are you okay? We need to talk?
We need to talk.
No,
it's not necessarily a sad day, but it is. I don't know. As Canadians, we're always kind of second guessed when it comes to these kind of services, or typically we are when it comes to Netflix and so forth. So it's nothing surprising, maybe disappointing a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you, because they did say that it was coming, right? Like earlier, it was when they announced it. They're like, "Yeah, U.S. and Canada."
Yeah, well, John Kohler, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, who is the VP of marketing at Sony. I think SEA, but I'm not sure about that. But regardless, he spoke with IGN right after the CES press conference with Kaz, where he announced it, and he blatantly said that it was launching in Canada and US day one, but they're saying that it was misinterpreted. I understand that.
I gotcha. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry. I don't... Yeah, you'll be alright. It'll come. You should be happy you're not from Europe, because they're getting it in 2015, right?
Well, that's the thing, though, because that image also says that it's going to launch day and date with Canada, so the authenticity of that image might be in question as well, right?
That is true. So who knows? I guess we need to wait for an official announcement by Sony before we start assuming things.
Or maybe we're misinterpreting the Canada and US launch on that image. Could be that, too.
That's true. Maybe perhaps it's not launching day one, but maybe it's like the next week or something.
Maybe all these miscommunications are them trying to tell us that you don't really want PlayStation Now.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Well, PlayStation later, you guys.
Oh boy. Alright. Next bit of news, pre-order bonus detailed for Japanese release of Soul Sacrifice Delta.
Yeah. Exciting news. Breaking news, Tyler.
What?
I don't know. Breaking news. It's breaking news. We're breaking news here on the podcast, and you sound so excited to break it.
Oh,
you broke the news, Tyler. It's broken.
No. Anywho. Seriously, Cat? Just lay down. Go to sleep. Alright. It has been revealed that pre-orders for the Japanese release will receive an art book titled Soul Sacrifice: The Art of Magic as a pre-order bonus. The book contains artwork from over 50 Quest artists, with Gravity Rush artist Takeshi Oga and Atelier artist Mel Gishida amongst those contributing. There has been no official announcement yet of an American or European release date, nor has there been any news of any pre-order bonuses for either of these regions. So yeah, an art book. Those are always nice, but not really something I care for too much. I got an art book when I pre-ordered Dragon's Crown. Looked through it twice and was like, sweet, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah. I think they need to step up a bit on pre-order bonuses and stuff. Give me, like, I'm not necessarily a figurine kind of guy, but with certain games, I think that would be like the best thing that you could give as like a pre-order bonus. Like, especially games like Assassin's Creed or something, like a sweet ass assassin like figurine. That would be cool. But like, who gives a crap about an art book? You're gonna look through it once unless you're a super hardcore fan. Never look at it again.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Goku that comes with the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z and PlayStation 3 in Europe?
No, I have not.
It's so good. I'm so jealous that the Vita doesn't even get that. Like, regardless of the fact that we're not getting it here in North America, the Vita's not getting it in Europe either. It's a shame. I think there are fans who own Vitas who buy those games who want the equal special edition. So hopefully we'll start seeing that pick up.
Yeah. Alright, next bit of news. Road Not Taken artist hints at character customization. Toronto-based artist Brent Kabayashi offered insight today as to the creative process of creating Road Not Taken's lead character on Spry Fox's website. while also revealing some possible details regarding developers' plans for character customization. Kobayashi reveals both that he and I already forgot how to say it. I am just horrible at remembering how to pronounce names. Anyways, they have been exploring the idea of pulling back the rogue's all-concealed cloak in favor of allowing the player to customize their avatar. They say, quote, there are currently hundreds of possible avatar combinations, and we are working on allowing the player to have the option of fully customizing their character, end quote. It's unconfirmed as to whether or not these options will be afforded to players in the final version, but it would likely make a welcome addition for many. I like character customization, but certain games, I'm glad there isn't it. Like, well, some of them do it smartly. Like The Last of Us, you can change like your shirt and stuff like that, or like I think the backpacks that they have on. Sometimes I think you have to unlock it by like finding stuff within the levels. But yeah, I always welcome character customization because I like to make my person look crazy or kind of look somewhat like me the best I can. But I don't know if I'm actually interested in this game at all. Because isn't this a puzzle game or whatever?
It's a roguelike puzzle game, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really the biggest fan of puzzle games, but what about you guys?
Yeah, so I like roguelikes. I like puzzle games, so the two together work for me. And on top of that, I know the developer made the game from a personal spot in his heart and from a life experience. So it has those feels that the industry is full of right now. I know you guys aren't necessarily crazy about them, but how do you feel, Kyle?
Yeah, I like puzzle games, but I'm not so much into roguelikes. Just for the fact that most of them are like randomly generated, and I find playing randomly generated games boring as hell. I know that's kind of contrary to the whole idea, but if it's not planned out and there isn't a reason for me to play it other than getting to the end, I don't really care.
Next bit of news. Oh, FYI, if you guys have your Vitas next to you, and I'm talking to Kyle and Brian, not the listeners, because I'm sure you'll already know that it's on the store, but the store is updated.
Woo!
If you want to go buy something or look at something or...
Like that DBZ?
Yep, I'm actually downloading right now. I just hit confirm purchase.
Purchase?
And now it's just sitting here saying, please wait. Oh, and I'm waiting. Alright. Next bit of news, Killzone Mercenary Update 1.04 goes live. The latest update, version 1.04, is now up for download. The latest patch marks update 4 of a planned rollout of updates for the portable shooter and brings a slew of new behind-the-scenes fixes. Here are the details according to the update log. Revised matchmaking to reduce join game disconnections, improved multiplayer balancing, stability fixes, and the size is 8,172 KB. Update 1.04 marks the last of the scheduled updates listed in the itinerary listed by Guerrilla Cambridge in 2013. So the next update is probably going to feature the new maps and the offline bot zone stuff for Mercenary and Guerrilla Warfare mode, so look out for those. I can't wait for the maps. I've been wanting those for a while. Pretty much ever since they said it, I'm like, yes. Yes. Yeah. Kyle.
Yeah.
You're excited.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for the new maps. Not so much for whatever they added in this update, because I haven't played Killzone since, although we'll be playing it probably this weekend on Loungeplay.
Oh, really?
Dun dun dun.
I can't wait to kill you, Kyle.
So I got that update. I jumped right in, and I noticed a little bit of a smoother experience per se, but nothing overwhelming. I'm also waiting for some of the more major updates promised. I would love to play some more maps. How many maps are there? 6?
I believe so.
Yeah, they're just getting to be a little bit routine at this time, but hopefully they'll freshen up when the new maps are released.
Yeah. Is it? I can't remember. Is it just 2 maps?
To the Googles.
Oh gosh. Anywho, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 maps. Anywho, yeah, it is. Kyle says it in his post, or you say it in your post of the update. We'll feature 2 new free multiplayer maps. Yeah, we got it. All right. Let's head to the next bit of news. Valhalla Knights 3 Gold includes improved loading times. Marvelous AQL has revealed that the upcoming remake Valhalla Knights 3 Gold will sport shorter load times than its predecessor. And I'm going to kill you, Kat, if you're going to scratch at that box while I'm trying to record this. Alright, that's right. You heard me. Stop it. In a Q&A segment on the Japanese Marvelous AQL website, fans posed their queries to the developer regarding the additions that Gold will bring to Valhalla Knights 3, one of which was directly aimed at the often lengthy load times found in the game. They said, quote, "For load time, I tried to make a hole. It's now... For load time, I tried to make a hole."
Yeah, it's a little bit off, yeah.
"It is now much faster from Valhalla Knights 3, end quote. Very interesting quote. Additionally, the dialogue between the developer and fans has divulged information that the Gold Edition will feature new characters, PlayStation Vita TV support, increased drop rate, more intuitive main menu and inventory, as well as many other additions. Valhalla Knights 3 Gold releases February 27th, 2014 in Japan, exclusively only for PlayStation Vita. Yeah, Brian's excited about this. No? Am I alone?
You're not alone.
Okay.
I'm excited that they fixed the load times. Yeah, that's exciting news for anybody who's willing to grind their way through Valhalla Knights once again.
Did you just laugh at your own joke?
A little bit. It was unexpected. It was completely unexpected.
Oh my gosh. Alright, continue.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm just happy that they're doing something other than the boobies and the rubbing. And
I got you. I go back to your joke though. I can just picture you sitting at your computer screen and like speaking and then slowly starting to smirk as you were talking. Oh gosh. Anyways, now you know what would have been perfect if after that little joke of grinding we had the Ollie Ollie story. But you know what? I'm gonna be a jerk and go to this story first, which is IA/VT Colorful shows off new screens and details. The game will feature original videos to complement its music tracks. The first announced being Nihonbashi. Oh god, here we go. Kaokashita Gegaku. Yeah, by IA, though several other popular videos will also be available. IA/VT Colorful is set to have 60 songs at launch, and it's produced by Senran Kagura, producer Kenichiro Tagaki. And there's screenshots. Go check out the screenshots if you're interested in this game. Hey, just because I can't pronounce Japanese words doesn't mean you need to laugh at me.
There seems to be a lot of Vocaloids coming to the Vita.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
It's also been a great week if you're a fan of animated boobs. It was a great week for Vita news. Like that dominated the news for sure.
Yes, indeed. All right. Also, did you not mention the PlayStation Plus free game, and new releases?
No, I did.
Ah, all right. Well, I'll just mention it real quick. Go grab Smartass if you have PlayStation Plus. It's free. It's a whopping 1.4 gigs, though.
Holy crap.
Keep that in mind. All right.
Better be 1.4 gigs smarter after it.
You better. I'm downloading it right now. I just hit OK. It has a good rating, though.
I bought it. I picked it up for like $3, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, that's right. You bought it like right before they announced it, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh well, I'd rather have the physical copy anyway. I'll save space on my 16 gig.
I've actually lost space in my case that holds my Vita, so now I need to upgrade my space, my physical space. I need to buy a new case. I'm rhyming today. You see that? Fuck you guys. Anyways, Ollie Ollie developers Roll 7 working on crash fixing patch. The widely praised and highly reviewed Ollie Ollie isn't working without its flaws. The combo-focused skateboard game occasionally crashes seemingly without warning or trigger. However, this isn't something that is lost on the developers as they've publicly stated that they're hard at work on a new patch to correct this. So if you listen to our last episode, we talked to John from Ollie Ollie, and yeah, we talked about that. So they're working on it, which is good, because this game is awesome, and it sucks whenever it crashes, because normally it always happens to me when I'm doing an awesome combo, and I'm like, this is the best run I've ever... Man, it's gone.
I have to admit, it crashed once on me so far now. And it was in the middle of the daily grind where I was about to fall, so I'm cool with that because it let me do it again.
I see how it is. You know, it's kind of funny. I can kind of cheat the system. You want to know how?
No, move on.
Oh, I'll just move on. You don't want to hear it, right?
No.
Well, sadly, you won't be able to do it unless you have 2 Vitas. But if you do it with your first Vita and then you get on your other Vita and then do it, you can essentially get a second score. At least I tried it once when I got...
So what you're saying is you can do the daily grind on one Vita,
right,
sign into another Vita on the same account, and then do another daily grind for that same account.
Right.
All right.
But I think you have to do it like right after each other. Like the second you finish the first daily grind, you're probably going to want to click daily grind on the next Vita and start before it realizes that this account's already done it.
So if you see Tyler with the highest score, he cheated. It's worthless now.
Pretty much.
So now we know why he's going to buy a third Vita. Like, 3 Ollie Ollie challenges.
Oh, jeez.
2 million points? That's cute.
Well, hopefully Ollie Ollie developers fix this. Roll 7, because this game's awesome. And, yeah, they're awesome. I think Kyle would agree.
I think you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. There's still quite a bit of news left. Well, not quite a bit. There's like 4 news stories left, so let's get it going. Unsung story. Vita stretch goal lowered. Interesting. So previously set at a whopping $1.8 million, the stretch goal has been lowered to the 1 million mark due to the request of fans and prospective contributors. This is a very reachable goal given that the project's Kickstarter campaign has already amassed nearly 400,000 of its 600,000 initial goal, with 23 days to go of its 31-day campaign. Although this was posted a couple days ago, so it's now by like 20 or in the teens days left. So keep that in mind. It's also worth noting that they've added a stretch goal for the PlayStation 4, which comes in at 1.25 million, a still very palatable number. That word threw me off. Kickstarter lowering the goal for a Vita game is always nice, because I think Kyle was talking about this last episode, that it's frustrating that Kickstarters have Vita goals, but they're just so ridiculous, or they're not just like included in the game. Like, it's always a stretch goal. It's not, hey, this Vita game is coming, come kickstart it. So that's nice that they're lowering it. Does it make you happy, Kyle?
Yeah, it makes me happy, although it doesn't make me happy that it is right now sitting at only 428,000 of its 600,000 goal, and not even halfway to the Vita goal. That's not cool.
And how many days are left? Are you looking at it right now?
Yes, I am. 17 days to go.
I've heard that Kickstarter normally, like, their best time to kickstart a game is like within the last couple days.
Well, hopefully somebody like coughs up the $500,000.
So yeah, keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'll
stop buying some Vitas and start dropping some donations.
Yeah, man, come on.
I'm sorry, jeez.
Sell your body if you have to.
Who hasn't?
Just Yuki.
Uh-oh, I have to sneeze. Hold on.
I'm holding.
Wait for it.
Mine.
Damn it, Kyle, you made it go away. Damn it, it's gone. That's
It turned into a fart.
That's gross.
Unused sneezes are cached as farts.
Up next, we got some more Kickstarter stuff. Twin stick shooter Charlotte Seeker hits and has a Vita stretch goal. The developer Bear Cowboy has launched a new Kickstarter, and the comically named studio has set its base goal at a reasonable $8,000, which would result in a PC, Mac, and Linux version. However, should the title receive funding of $20,000 or more, it will find itself on the PlayStation Vita by way of relatively small stretch goal. Part twin stick shooter, part roguelike, Charlotte Seeker plans to put the hell in bullet hell. The game's difficulty is said to match its pace and mechanics with success, providing an immense amount of satisfaction. As with most shooters of this kin, the game will also have a strong focus on points and multipliers, offering incentive for even the most hardened of veterans. And there's a video if you want to check it out on the site. Also, the Kickstarter campaign, you can go check it out and donate if you're interested in it. So yeah, very nice. And I forgot to open more news stories again. Son of a butt. Alright. The next bit of news, Dekamori Senran Kagura, another large digital title. And you could take that in two different ways. According to a post by the game's producer, Kenichiro Takiki on Twitter, the full game, including all characters which come in two different packs called A and B, will be 3 to 4 gigabytes in size. That's pretty big. Dekamori Senran Kagura will come in two different packs. Pack A will include 13 different characters to choose from, while Pack B will include another 11. A cost of 2,315 yen, or 22.20 for each. Will also be able to download a mega pack of sort, which will include both character packs and the full game, and this will be the product that reaches that 3 to 4 gigabyte range. They've given no information on the price of the mega pack, though we hope it's reasonable, because what's the point of getting a pack if you can just get the two games separately for cheaper? The game is set to release on March 20th in Japan. So yeah, if you're into the Senran Kagura series, there you go. And I believe that's the cooking game, right?
Yes, it is.
The rhythm cooking game.
Ah, yes. Alright, next up, the Chainsaw Incident character reveal teased for February. A new image released on the Chainsaw Incident's Facebook page teases the reveal of a new challenger for the recently announced horror-themed fighter. The image promises the unveiling of a new character on February 3rd, but offers little insight other than that. A hulking silhouette holding a chainsaw is featured in the backdrop picture. However, this may be the leather-faced character shown in the game's debut trailer. If you don't know, the Chainsaw Incident is a fighting game that was announced earlier this week for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. Pairing hand-drawn art with a gruesome aesthetic, it takes an over-the-top approach to the genre's violent nature. A Kickstarter campaign has been announced, but little is known as to when the campaign will be launched. So yeah, there's a picture, if you want to check it out, on the site teasing this character reveal for February the 3rd. So check that out when you get the chance. Next up, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc adds new features and storyline. In an interview with Siliconera, Spalding revealed that School Life mode will be accessible after the game has been beat once. He says, quote, "You'll have the choice to begin this mode, which explores what might happen if the students were all trapped in the school together but weren't forced to begin killing each other. So this mode will offer a new storyline and new gameplay mode. And on top of that, you'll be able to hang out with the students one-on-one to explore different parts of the school, as well as learn even more about them than you did during the main game." End quote. Spalding also stated that translating the game for a Western audience and conveying the spirit of the game's characters for the game's forthcoming release was, quote, just like any other project, attempting to convey the spirit and tone of the story while still making it accessible for potential fans regardless of how familiar or unfamiliar they may be with the game, end quote. With a release date of February 11th in North America and February 14th for Europe, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc is just weeks away from release. So yeah, interesting. I kind of was semi on like wanting to get this game, but I like the idea of this school mode, or what is the school mode? Yeah, school life mode, and yeah, kind of sounds interesting. Are you guys interested in this game at all?
I'm actually reviewing this game, and I'll be digging in officially today.
Oh, so snap.
I'll let you know soon how it is.
Is it something that you are wanting to review, or is it kind of just like, yeah, I got it?
Nah, it was something I was wanting to review.
Nice.
Definitely looks interesting. I like the whole focus on more storyline like Persona, so definitely interested.
Awesome. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to let us know how that goes. That's all of the news. That was a lot. All right. Next up, we have the listener mail with Kyle. What do you got this week, Kyle?
So we do have some listener mail this week, thankfully. We've got some via email and some via Twitter. So I'll just start off and we'll kind of go through them one by one. So the first one here is from @Rise18, and it's, would the Vita actually be more successful with a Monster Hunter title, or is it still struggling due to price?
I think it would. Japanese people love their Monster Hunter games, and you can just see that the 3DS is killing it with Monster Hunter and a couple other titles, but it's definitely one of those games that they want. And one of the comments I see all the time, every time I watch a trailer for any game that is remotely close to Monster Hunter that's coming to the Vita, there's like thousands of comments that just say, why don't you just bring Monster Hunter? I'm tired of these copies. So clearly there's a market for it, and people are getting tired of these clones. So yeah, I think it would be very helpful to have it on the Vita, and not what they've already announced, which was that Monster Hunter G or something like that. It's like online only one.
Japan only because of IP lockout as well.
Right. So they just need to make a regular one like they did for the PSP and be like, yeah, we still care about you, Sony, and we like to make money, because they know they would make money. It's just they aren't doing it, which is weird. So, yeah. What about you guys? You think that would be helpful, or do you think it's not going to do anything?
I'd have to agree with you. I definitely think it would be helpful. Any big title like that has a huge fan base, people will buy the console for those kind of games. So definitely if you release a quality title in the Monster Hunter series on Vita, it would help.
Yeah, I have to agree with both of you. You guys hit it right on the head. The fact that Sony are continuously pumping out these clones, so to speak, that are trying to fill that market means that there is a market there. And if you're going to bring the flag bearer for that market, absolutely, I can't see it harming the Vita in any sort of way.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Rise18, for sending that question. And we got any more, Kyle?
Yes, we do. Okay, this one's from @JH_BOOS. It's all things PS Vita Twitter account, and he says, talk about must-have Vita accessories. It's not really a question, but kind of pushing that talk on us. So, talk about must-have Vita accessories. Go.
Well, I only have one that I really use, and it's the stand, like the speaker stand, but it doesn't have speakers in it. You can plug in your own cable into it to have speakers.
The dock?
Yeah, that's what it's called, the dock. I have that, and the only reason why I used it was back in the day when I recorded videos for my channel, is I would set it on that. That way I didn't have to hold it and have it shaking while I was trying to record video. But now I don't really use it very much, so I don't really use accessories at all, unfortunately. What about you guys? You guys like accessories?
No. I have no accessories whatsoever, other than a tiny case for games. So if you could consider that an accessory, then I have that. Other than that, no, nothing. Naked Vita.
Well, as nice as it would be to have a Naked Vita all the time, I worry about this sexy little piece of hardware I have. So I have a soft sleeve for it that I carry it around with if I'm going out and put in my jacket, so forth. But I also think if you travel quite a bit, if you take your backpack, you go to school, let's say you're a high school age person, or you're just a little bit more into rough activities, maybe a hard case might be something to invest in. I'm not particular as to which one, but something that holds your cards as well would be great. I think also another essential thing is something just to clean your screen. It's something simple like a glass cleaner will work too, but I think those are something, if you're picking up a Vita for the first time, those are some things you might want to consider.
Yeah, I have all those too, but I wasn't really considering those as accessories.
Well,
but that's just me. I do have the trigger grips, but I've used those like twice, and I was like, these are kind of cool, but then they became a little uncomfortable because they were awkwardly shaped. Like, I don't know how to explain it really, but they made my hands like slip more than what you'd think it should, which was frustrating.
Well, I like the idea of grips, and I understand they're all made differently, so maybe the one you had didn't fit your hand the best. But let's say that even in an ideal situation where you have a perfect grip for your hand, it removes the portability of a portable handheld for me, and it's kind of counterintuitive to the whole point of having a Vita.
Exactly.
So that's why I haven't dug in so far.
Yeah, it makes sense. Maybe you should. Was this via a tweet or email?
A tweet.
Maybe he should tweet us some of his accessories that he recommends for us, and we'll see if we can talk about those. Ooh. Perfect. Yeah, you like that?
All right, here's the next one. This one's from @Rise18 as well. This one says, I love my Vita. Thinking of getting another one. Are the new ones worth it?
Well, having two Vitas, I want the new one, but is it worth it? It really depends on what your definition of being worth it to you is. Personally, myself, I have no reason to have a new one. There's nothing that the new one does that makes it better, in my opinion, than the Vita I have now. It's a little slimmer. It has a different screen. It uses a different charging cable. They take away the mystery port. The buttons are a little different, like the start and select. So, I mean, if something's bugging you about the old Vita, then maybe it is something that you'd go for. Because I know a lot of people complained about the start and select buttons on the original Vita, that it was kind of difficult to hit. And if that's bugging you, then I don't know if that's worth spending another $200 for a new Vita, but who knows? I guess what I would do is weigh the positives from the negatives and see if the positives outweigh the negatives and go for it. What about you guys? Are you guys interested in the new Vita or think it's worth upgrading?
No, not so much. I think definitely depends on why you're going to the Vita and what you care about with the Vita. Some people want longer battery life and don't really care what it looks like. They're going to be playing it in sunlight or whatever, where they're going to get washed out colors or whatever regardless, so they don't care if it's LCD or OLED. But other than that, really, it's down to preference. Personally, I really don't give two rats craps about this new PS Vita 2000, other than the back touchpad being a tad smaller, which would be useful because I have kind of big hands and end up, touching it every once in a while if I'm not paying attention. But even then, it's taking away from the original design, which was that the back touch was one-to-one with the screen, so I really can't call much of the improvements or changes improvements. So I stick with the OLED model, and if I was getting another one, that's what I'd be getting right now. Brian, what do you think?
Personally, I don't think it's worth upgrading to. But maybe if you're entering the market, like Kyle said, it just depends on what you're looking at from the device. Also, I would wait importing it right now. As you might have heard from our website and many others, there's going to be a meeting sometime this week. I believe it's tomorrow. Regarding the slimmest reveal ever from PlayStation that's being held in Europe for a big breakfast reveal. So we're unaware of what they're teasing at, but it sounds like the Vita Slim or the Vita 2000. So you might just want to hold off a little bit before you jump the trigger on that one.
I just want to know that, well, it could be the PS Vita 2000. You also might have another choice because it could also be the PS Vita TV coming. So
yes.
We're not really sure 100%, and the hint that they give kind of leads to believe whether it's one of those two choices. So you might have another choice in the PS Vita buying department.
Or you could just be smart and have them both come at the same time.
Oh, it could be.
True.
Yeah. Normally, I would kind of see it actually happening with both of them because, at least for me personally, I think it'd be nice if you're Sony and you want to announce something, not just announcing one thing, like holding this big event. I mean, it's not really big. It's just kind of like a get-together kind of thing. But they're like, hey, we have the Vita Slim. It's coming. Yeah. And then they just leave. Or they could be like, hey, we got the Slim and Vita TV is coming, so there you go. Got some multiple announcements for you.
The only curious thing about the reveal is that it's specifically held in Europe. And if you talk about streaming, there's no place stronger in the streaming category than the United States or the Western markets, right? But Europe isn't necessarily as ahead of the curve in that regard. So I'm curious as to what the reveal. I'm hesitant to say which one it is.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, whatever it is, we will find out very soon. So be sure to check the VitaLounge.net for the news when it comes.
All right, moving on to the next email. This one's from Craig via email. Hello, folks. Potential podcast topic for you. I've been thinking recently about PlayStation Plus and its impact on Vita hardware and software sales. I'd argue that while PlayStation Plus is often cited as a factor in gamers choosing to buy a Vita, it has potentially negative effect on software sales, with many waiting for games to appear on PlayStation Plus rather than purchasing them outright. See the comments thread before every major games release from TerraWader Rayman Legends. Could publishers stimulate sales by announcing that their title won't appear on PlayStation Plus, and do you think the good outweighs the bad? Cheers, Craig.
I'm going to let one of you guys take this first. I want to hear what you guys say.
So in the scenario he's painting more AAA titles that are negatively affected by PlayStation Plus because you're speculating that they may come later on in the future as part of the Instant Game Collection. And I definitely see that, and I see that PlayStation Plus is a double-edged sword in that it does absolutely help certain titles that wouldn't get attention. But in another way, like if you see Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins, there can be places where it negatively affects the game's sales. Mind you, I'm speculating on that topic. But yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword there, but I don't necessarily think you're going to see Tearaway hitting PlayStation Plus anytime soon. If anything, what it does is give new PlayStation Vita owners a chance to experience the first game, and hopefully we're going to see sequels down the line. As for how that affects the sequels, who's to say? But yeah, it's really a double-edged sword.
Okay, I'm going to jump in there. I don't think he necessarily means the Instant Game Collection, like the free games that they're giving. I think he's talking about PlayStation Plus in general. But anyway, regarding PlayStation Plus in general, I do think, like Brian said, it's definitely a double-edged sword. But just the fact that how pervasive they're making it, it must be giving them profit, or they must be seeing it as overall a good thing to continue it, I think. But yeah, it definitely, there's two ways to look at it. You can either look at it as people who are going to buy the game are going to buy it right when it comes out and shortly after. So whether you put games on sale or free later, it's just promoting that the word of mouth for those games through the people who have PlayStation Plus to tell the people who don't some good games to buy. On the other side, I guess some people who are maybe more discount oriented would wait for it to go on sale or go free first, so you might lose those sales. However, if they're thinking that way in the first place, they might have done that anyway and just bought it on sale or later when it came down in price in store. So whether it's hindering is necessarily, I guess, based on whatever numbers they're getting, and it must be good results since they've continued it so much and put so much on sale.
Yeah, there's not really much more to say to that. You guys pretty much got it. All the things I was thinking about, so yeah.
Well, this isn't only a PlayStation Plus scenario. I think there was an article that came out this week saying that the culture with the Steam client on PC, it's a very similar thing where people are just waiting out titles until they become $2 or $1 as part of the general sales there. So this isn't something that's exclusive to PlayStation. It's just something that we're seeing the model shift from PC over to here.
Right. Well, yeah.
I guess that's all we have time for on that one. Let's move on to the last write-in here. We've got one from Chris Hill, who is Anabolic Frolic on the forum, or CJ Hill 1836 on PSN, and he says, "Hello again. I've noticed that many people use their spare memory cards for use with a Japanese account. I have such a card and was wondering if you could detail the process of setting up a Japanese PSN account and cover me some of the best practices or pitfalls to keep in mind when using the Vita in this manner. I would love to get my hands on some of those sweet Asian exclusives. What are your favorite titles?"
Well, along the lines of getting how to set it up, I've only done it once, and I don't really remember exactly how I did it, but there's videos all over the tubes. If you just search how to make a Japanese account for PSN or something like that, boom, that's all I did. Followed the directions, and it was actually quite simple. So unless Kyle wants to run down it, I don't know if Kyle really has it locked in his memory.
No, not so much the way to set up an account. I know a lot of the stuff, like for me, it's just knowing the words and different symbols like in Japanese, and I figured it out, so it wasn't much, looking at a video or following some sort of steps. I just kind of read through it and did it. So
right, yeah. If you
lucky
can read,
me.
yeah, read
but
Japanese, you're good.
But I'll definitely write up a post on that. I'll research into it and maybe do it again. Just make a dummy account or something like that, and figure out how to do it, because that's a good thing to have on the site. So I'll be putting both the instructions for changing accounts, because there's a certain way you should do it to avoid locking yourself out of your activations. You get a certain amount of activations on each account, and there's kind of a convoluted process of resetting that, so you don't want to screw yourself out of your account, kind of. So I'll detail the deactivation and way to sign into another account, and as well as that way to set up a Japanese account. So if you check on the forums in the next day or so from when this podcast posts, it should be up.
Very nice. And as for some Japanese games out there, do you recommend anything that he should grab when he makes this account?
It depends, really. If you don't mind muddling through a lot of story, there's probably a lot of good games out there to play. It's just kind of the learning curve with not knowing the language. Some of the best stuff to try would be like Project Diva F, stuff like that just doesn't appear over here and is very light menus, whereas you're just kind of going with the rhythm of the song. That's something you can figure out pretty easily. Other than that, they kind of get, harder or softer depending on the game, how much Japanese you need to know or how much you have to look up to get by. So it's, whatever your level or whatever you feel comfortable looking up. Generally, by the type of game, you should know. RPGs are going to be story heavy, unless they're action RPGs and stuff like that. So look into some stuff on the internet and pick something.
Yeah, I'm no help really there. When I made my Japanese account, all I really made it for was to test demos that I couldn't test out here. So I think for Freedom Wars, there's going to be a demo for that, and you could make a Japanese account and test it out and see what you think of it. Although it would be all in Japanese, so it might not be easy to figure out how to play. you could play it. Yeah.
You could always get in on that Valhalla Knights 3 gold.
Oh boy, are you gonna do that, Brian?
No, I'm not. I will not be doing that. If it does come to America, I promise you all, I will play it and I will review it. But I will not be switching.
I can't wait. All right, so that's the last bit of news. Thanks for sending your emails and tweets. Remember, you can email us at podcast@thevitalounge.net, or if you want to tweet at the Vita Lounge or at any of one of us, feel free to do that. Alrighty, last thing up is our game recommendation of the week. Brian, what do you got?
So this week I'm going to pick something from Curve Studios, and it's going to be Proteus. Maybe not necessarily the most gamiest of games, but it is a game that I love very much. So the premise for Proteus is that you are essentially dropped on an island and asked to explore to your heart's content. And there's no, other than a couple of postcard segments in the game menu, you're basically just sent there to go to your own devices and explore. What happens then is, I don't want to spoil exactly the reactions to the environment, but you'll go through a series of seasons and how those seasons affect the world and your interaction with the world, and it just makes you reflect upon all your thoughts and really question the origin of the world itself. It can be a very meditative game, and I often played it right before I went to bed because I found myself most relaxed and most willing to drop myself into this universe. But it's something that, yes, it's not for everybody, but if you are into exploration and a little bit more abstract games, you may really be into Proteus. So that's my game of the week. Have anybody here played it?
Very nice. I played it at PAX Prime in Seattle for like 5 minutes. Sadly, it wasn't probably the best place to play it because there's people yapping all around and there's craziness going on, so I didn't really get to immerse myself in it, but I really loved the vibrant colors that the game had when I played it. So it's
when you're playing it, another thing is maybe you didn't get a chance when you were at PAX, but as you play, everything you interact with makes a sound, similar to something in like sound shapes, for example. And when you're playing, you're almost orchestrating the soundtrack as you play. So I interact with the environment, the sounds of birds or flowers or anything. If you go to the top of a mountain, one of the most profound moments for me in the game is if you go to the top of a mountain, all sound ceases. So you no longer have the backdrop of the soundtrack, you no longer have the chirping of birds, nothing. Everything becomes quiet and solitary. But should you go off the edge of that cliff, the sound rushes back into the game at a speed that's unusual for the meditative state like Proteus delivers. So there's a bunch of weird things like that to explore. But I also wanted to mention, as I'm talking right now, Curve Studios has announced that they are releasing Proteus as part of the Studios Mega Bundle. So you can pick up the Curve Studios Mega Bundle, which includes Lone Survivor, Stealth Inc., A Clone in the Dark, Proteus, and Thomas Was Alone for $14.99. So
how much?
$14.99.
All right, you roboted there for a second, but that's a really awesome deal. Those games are all really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So awesome. Yeah, that's a great recommendation. If you have one of your own recommendations, feel free to email us at podcast@thevitalounge.net. Let us know games that you think are awesome. So let's get out of here. We've been recording for a while. Remember, you can find all of our news stories that we talked about here in the podcast on thevitalounge.net. Don't forget to check out the new forum where you need to go sign up there and start talking to us about anything Vita related or other gaming related stuff. There's topics for everything. Also, you can find us all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Brian is at Brian G. Sharon. Yuki is at Yuki_WR. And obviously the Vita Lounge is at the Vita Lounge. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. And don't forget to join our Lounge Play series that we've been doing on YouTube. We do it every Saturday. Kyle and I pick 3 games that we would like to play with you guys, the community. And I record it and post it on YouTube. So get in it. Send us an email, send us a tweet, talk to me on Facebook or something. Let us know what you want to play and join us. it's always a blast playing with everyone and whatnot. So yeah, I'd like to thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope you guys have a great week. See ya.
Later.